Hey, we're the Fishbowl. I'm Brian, but you already knew that.
Your boy C4 is back. What's good?
Yo, it's your boy Tank.
Not my chocolate.
So, we're coming to y'all this week with, we're going to be talking about everything that's going on currently. The show might be a tad bit controversial to some of you all, especially with our own opinions and everything that's going on. But we just wanted to put that out there that these are our opinions. So if you don't agree with us, you don't like what you hear, leave it in the comments below. Tell us your opinions, tell us your thoughts, tell us your feelings, and let's get the conversation rolling. I mean, it starts with a conversation. Of course, we know that action has to be done eventually, but we're just gonna jump right into it.
Also remember that we're human beings just like everybody else. So we do have feelings. And even though we do have strong opinions, does not mean we want you to necessarily believe in our opinions, but we want you to know that this is what we think, this is how we're looking at it, and this is the whole purpose of this discussion.
So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this. So first thing that's on our topic of discussion.
Rape culture?
Huh.
Oof.
Well, rape culture. That's rape culture is a very touchy subject. We all know and agree. We did some conversing before we started this, but we are living in rape culture right now. It's been something that's been going on for years. Probably, I would say it started before some of us were even born.
Yeah, so that and technically we ain't living in it then. It's just been going on.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the problem is that we don't really understand what rape is and the seriousness of everything that's happening. So a lot of people don't really know when they're actually being involved in a situation that involves rape.
I think to go into that, because I can agree with that. A lot of times, with guys, a lot of guys have a tendency to over compliment in the wrong way. I know Elijah earlier had brought up catcalling.
Right.
One thing that a lot of women don't like. And that's the whole whistling and hey sweetie.
And there's a reason for that. Like, it's not just like we don't like y'all saying and like giving us compliments. It's because harassment and compliment is like, hey, you look nice today. The response to that is thank you, but hey, your tits look great. Like, what am I supposed to say to that? It's a power move if you catcall me.
Mm-hmm.
What am I supposed to do about it? There's nothing I can do about you saying hey, nice ass, or smile, or whatever. There's nothing I can do to respond to that. You're saying it to me to literally make me feel uncomfortable. Versus compliment where you're actually trying to be nice. You look nice today. Your hair looks nice. You have lovely eyes. Or you can, and I'm not saying you can't be damn girl, you look fine, but as a friend, that's one thing. Within reason, but it's expected yes girl, I know, thank you, versus I don't know you, so why are you saying this to me? It's a respect thing, and if you're, because the harassment thing is, it's a power move, there's nothing I can say or do to respond to your thing at all. There's nothing I can say to that. It's just you saying it because you have the power to say that, to make me feel uncomfortable, to make me feel like I'm not safe now, versus actually saying something nice.
I don't think they really do it to make you feel uncomfortable, but at the same time, I think some guys are just insensitive when it comes to that subject. Because I know a lot of times when you get on Instagram, there'll be women who put up pictures who know they're going to draw attention, and they do it to draw attention, but then when a guy compliments them and say, you look good, then they're like, oh, you thirsty. that's not being thirsty because I say you look nice.
Right.
What's being thirsty is if I come at you, you deny me, and I continue to keep pursuing you even after you said,
Right.
no, I'm not interested.
Or saying something incredibly inappropriate to begin with. Like, if I
Right.
post something, let's say I post something in the bathing suit, and someone says, oh girl, I want to eat that booty. Like, that's totally inappropriate. What am I supposed to say to that? Yes? No? Like,
Well, see,
that's
that's when the
harassment.
gloves come off then, because it's
Right.
like, that's wrong. You can't say that.
right.
So if you tell her, you look nice in that bathing suit, or dang girl, you looking good, I don't think that should be looked at as sexual harassment or catcalling. I think when it goes beyond you look nice is when it becomes sexual harassment
Right.
and it becomes catcalling. Because like I said, I feel like it's a thin line between it. And I think
Incredibly thin.
right, and I think some women take that to an extreme when it's like, hey, you look good. I like the way you did your hair today. Girl, you was wearing a nice outfit. You were rocking them pants though. And I was feeling how you looked in them pants. Oh my God, you're so thirsty. So now, because I compliment you, now I'm harassing you and I'm going too far. But if I do say something that's out the way, that's harassing you going too far, not generally complimenting you.
But I guess to look at it from a female's point of view, a lot of to use your example, I mean, if you were a female and a guy came up to you and said, you look good in them pants.
Or even if like you're not a female, like even as a guy.
Well, I'm just coming from the female point of view right now. If a guy, like I said, if you were a female, a guy came up to you and said, oh, you look good in them pants. I mean, you're not gonna initially think, and I didn't, correct me if I'm wrong, you're not gonna initially think he's complimenting you. Because it's like, oh, you're staring at me. Like, at least if I were a female, I wouldn't think you were complimenting me in that manner. Like, because why would the first thing you're gonna come to me and say is, I look good in my pants? Even if I am wearing them for the attention.
I kind of feel like you're being politically correct though, because the first thing you do notice about somebody with eyes, and you can see, you have vision, you visually check them out.
True.
So people can say, I'm not looking at looks, I look at the inward side all they want to, but if I have eyes and I can see, I visually see that you were attractive. You bought those pants because you thought they looked nice. So me saying you look nice in your pants, I don't think that's a problem. I think it's a problem when you go further than you look nice in those pants, and then you begin to sexualize everything about those pants and about how she looks.
But I don't know, I feel like
I mean,
I wouldn't lead into the conversation of if I was coming to compliment you, and looking at you, like as you said, I'm not gonna come in and the first thing I say to you is you look good in your pants.
But that's you though.
yeah, that's not.
That's
and
how
there's a
you
lot
see
of
it.
guys that just don't understand.
That's my opinion. Like for
Or
me,
don't-
for
That's
my
what I'm
opinion,
saying.
like that's
That's you.
inappropriate to lead off with. Like you look
Right,
good
but
in
there's a
those
lot of
pants.
guys that still do it, inappropriate or not, either they don't know or they don't care. Like they still like, hey girl, you look nice in those pants. They look better on my floor. I cannot tell you how much shit I've gotten shit like that.
Some dudes
And
don't
like
have
some-
good pickup lines.
Right, they don't, and like whether it's because they don't
That's
know any
true.
better
That's
or it's
true.
because they just don't care. Like they don't give a fuck. They can do it, right?
Yeah, so they say things that make the women feel uncomfortable. And some dudes, I'm not gonna say all dudes because I'm
Not all
a man,
dudes.
but some guys don't know that they're just being idiotic. But some know when they're going too far. Because I've heard
And they
guys,
think it's funny.
right?
Like
and
they think that it's funny.
I've heard guys
And that's the
try to
worst
talk
part.
to women and they fail miserably. And I'm sitting there thinking, you don't say that to a woman. That's not what you say. That's not how you talk to her. Like, what are you doing? But they continuously talk like that, and I'm thinking,
And then they come back to their friends and they're laughing their
Yeah,
ass off.
and I'm like,
because you
so-
can see that the girl is visibly uncomfortable.
right? And then I think that comes with that
And
also
you guys
comes
do that
along
too.
with maturity. I think that comes with maturity. I think that comes with home training. I think that comes
Right.
with sometimes having a man in your life to tell you how to do things. And even if you don't have a man, like I grew up with my mom. My mom told me how to treat women and told me how to talk to women. So there's certain things and certain boundaries you do not cross.
Yeah.
And certain things that some women are comfortable with, some women aren't. Because some women might be fine with you saying, dang girl, that booty, like, yo, that booty popping. You know what I'm
Thanks,
saying?
girl.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to see what it like in them jeans, you feel me?
Yeah.
But some females would be like, who are you talking to?
Right.
Like that's inappropriate. So it all depends on the person who's giving or saying whatever, and depends on the person who's receiving whatever. Because, like I said, there's a fine line, and then where's the median?
Right.
But I think what makes it even harder to deal with as the years go on, and as the generations that are coming up, and what's just making it worse is the media. Music,
Oh yeah, certainly.
movies, TV shows. I mean, think about it.
They sexualize everything.
Literally
You don't,
everything.
you know, and a lot of this music, a lot of this new age music, you don't see them, you know, putting women on a platform to be respected.
Right.
We were just talking about that earlier with R&B.
Right.
So, like the music now compared to what R&B was, R&B then was like, baby, I love you, you look so nice, or I want to make love to you, or I can't wait to get you behind closed doors.
It was more of a heartfelt message.
Right. And music now is like, girl, you shaking that thing in the club, I'm trying to see what that thing look like, shout, hey, real
Right.
talk. You know what I'm saying? I
I think
can
they're both about sex, and one's
Yeah,
more.
but one's more, yeah,
like,
they approach it
respectful,
different. Yeah.
And one's
Yeah.
like, you're a piece of meat, and we all know it.
Yeah,
kind
because
of
like,
thing.
you know, you had Lenny Williams singing, girl, I love you. You know, some men think that having multiple women is what's really going on in this world, but I just want to be with you. And then you have some of the rappers now like, I got 100 million girls and I'm banging your girl and I'm doing this and that. So it promotes it. So you know what, to go back to what you said at the beginning, I think we are more in rape culture. I agree with you with that because I disagree with you at first. I think I agree with you now. We are more in it because I think because of the day and age and the time has changed.
Yep.
Music the way it was before and the media the way it was before, it promoted sexual things, but it wasn't as far as Donald Trump's lifestyle, like grab her by the pussy, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start getting to that aspect of I'm just gonna walk up to her and grab on her booty until I want to smash,
Right.
and they supposed to
incredibly
respond to that.
inappropriate.
Yeah, you know that's sexual harassment.
But see,
Yeah,
that's
certainly.
another thing. You gotta think about it. So when we were in school, middle school, even
Long
it
time
goes
ago.
back to
Way back.
you know, not that long ago. Don't make me seem like I'm that old,
you were
but
pretty old though, bro.
you older than me. But you know, even to go back to and for some people, elementary school. But I know for me, you know, it was more in middle school and high school. We were young, stupid, immature.
Right.
You see a girl you like, you run up on her, smack her on the butt.
I bet you won't grab her booty. I give you $2 if you grab her booty.
Yeah. and
Things like that, you know, and we
That
did
shit pissed me
that.
off.
But back
I've
then,
had so many people because of that shit.
but see, back then we thought that was okay because we seen it.
Right,
in
right,
movies
and
or
you
we
see
seen
it now,
on TV.
too.
Well,
And
Yeah.
there's a scripture that talks about that, and I'm not trying to get too biblical because I know this is not a religious necessarily thing, but this is.
But we
kinda who
are
I am.
religious,
Yeah,
like-
but
Or at least
the
a few of
Bible
us
is
are.
like
Three of us are.
when I was a child, I spake as a child, I did childish things. When I was a man, I put away childish things. Like when I was a child, I did stuff that was childish stuff, but when I became a man, I grew up. In
Mhm.
other words, so when you were a child, it was wrong, but
You didn't
I feel
know
like it was
better.
more acceptable because you were foolish
yeah,
and they let that slide. But when you become grown, like our age, and you still doing stuff that a 6th grader or a 5th grader would do, that's just not okay. Because going up to a woman and grabbing her
Going up to
and
anyone.
saying, yeah, anyone, and saying inappropriate things is just not okay. Because it doesn't matter how beautiful she is and how good she looks. I don't care if she looks like Kim Kardashian, Beyonce, whoever looks good. You have no right to put your hands on someone when it's uninvited. You have no right to
That's
do
true.
that.
I agree.
And when they do that type of stuff, like I said, it messes up for people who don't really understand. There's a thin line because you might have that one Joe that's like, hey, she's beautiful, you look good, and they're complimenting her because they want to talk to her. Then you have that other guy who's just an ignorant sociopath who does whatever, and it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna go up and grab her and see what happens.
And if you don't know
Exactly.
the boundaries, like if you don't know what she's inviting and what's not, it's totally okay to ask. Hey, is this okay? Hey, is that okay? Before you go in on it. Like if you don't know, no one's going to be mad because you're asking.
that's true. But see, a lot of people don't have that mentality to ask.
But they should look.
No, and they should. I mean,
should. Like, if you don't know,
if you
you
don't
should.
know, yeah, if you don't know, you should ask. And I think, but see, what's not helping
Right.
is, like you said, to go back and quote the Bible verse. As a child, you do childish things, but when you become a man, you put away childish things.
Mm-hmm.
When you have people who don't live their life that way, or you have people who don't care to mature
Right.
as they get older,
They've been
they never
babied their
put
whole
away
damn
those childish
life.
things.
Yeah.
And then when you look at where the generation is now,
Yeah,
and
bunch
where
of man
music
child.
and it's really and for me, I think it's really the music that is controlling
Well,
the generation and controlling rape culture. So you have grown men
Right.
who are acting like they're 18 and 19,
Mm-hmm.
going out here still doing, as you said, the things that they did when they were in 5th grade. Because now they're listening to, what's the people out here? What, Lil Yachty or
Lil
Lil
Uzi
Pump,
Uzi.
Lil Uzi Vert, and they're saying, this is what they do because they got money and all the girls love them and allow them to do this to them.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, well, you know what? I'm going to continue to do it.
Right.
But these are also the same ones who glorify being junkies.
Right.
Because if you think about it, it was at one point in time rappers talking about selling drugs, and now rappers talk about doing drugs. So it's like that's how you can see the progression of everything. Because you go from I was the biggest weight pusher, 17.5, Young Jeezy, to all of a sudden I pop pills, I snort cocaine, I drink lean, I do whatever. And these kids get drunk and they high or whatever, and they blame it on the drugs and everything else. But it still doesn't make it okay, because look what they did to Bill Cosby. Quaaludes apparently was popping back then, and he was dropping them in females' drinks. And he got persecuted in 2017. So it ain't like it's okay to do it, but they're doing it anyway. And then the problem with a lot of stuff is, I wouldn't say it's all in the music, because everybody has a choice what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
When you get to the point where you say, you know what, I'm tired of being single, I'm tired of not having somebody, I'm just about to go out and do whatever. And then you start going out, grabbing women, doing whatever.
You made that choice.
Yeah, you
decided
made
to
that
be
choice,
that's your
because
decision.
I'm not going to blame it on something else and say that's what happens when this and that. Because everybody has a choice. You have a
Right.
choice whether to do. Yeah, you can say, oh, the frontal cortex isn't developed enough and this person doesn't really understand because they're not by this age. You can say that, but at a certain age, you know what's right from
and
wrong.
Right.
You know that if I go shoot somebody, that's wrong. You know if I go smack somebody in the face, that's wrong. You know if I go steal something out the store, that's wrong. So by a certain age, a certain time, you know when certain things are wrong. And going out and molesting or sexually harassing
Or
a woman,
assaulting, even.
yeah, or
Yeah,
assaulting,
uh-huh.
that's wrong.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it doesn't matter how beautiful she is. You don't have to go out and grab. Like, I was in love with J-Lo for a long time as a kid. If I ever saw J-Lo, I would probably like flip out. But I wouldn't go sexually assault her. It's J-Lo. She's a woman just like Thelia's a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's true.
even though she's a celebrity and I may never get a chance to see her again, I'm not just going to sexually assault her just because I might never see her again. I'm that into her. For what? Because at the end of the day, I still end up in jail. Because she's
Yep.
still a woman. And that's still sexual assault. Going up and because she has a nice butt and grabbing her butt cheek, that's going to end me in jail. You don't do that type of stuff. And then there comes another thing when we talk about, we were talking about earlier, some guys don't understand the difference between rape and compliments. So they don't know the difference, because there was I heard a story on the Breakfast Club, shout out to Charlamagne and DJ Envy and Angela Yee.
Angela.
That's Bay. But shout out to them. They were talking about a situation where a woman was with a guy and he kept on asking her to be involved with him sexually. After a while, she gave in. I didn't know that that's called consensual rape. Because the woman will give in for fear of harm later or for fear of being raped. So she says, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and give him what he wants so that this doesn't turn out bad. And then she may not come back again. She may not be with that person again. So I didn't know there was something called consensual rape. And a lot of guys don't know that. There was one dude that called in and apologized and was almost in tears because when he was talking about it, he was like, I had no idea. I liked her. She was over here. I wanted to be involved with her. I kept asking for it and asking for it. And she finally said, are you sure this is what you want to do? He said, and I didn't catch it then when she said it. But when I think about it now with everything that's going on in the political climate that we're living in, I realize that that's called consensual rape, and I was wrong. And I want to apologize to her because I don't want it to come out and be said that I raped somebody because I really did not know that I raped that person. And that's another problem that guys face is they don't know that there's a such thing as consensual rape. If someone says no when you ask to have sex with them,
That's it.
that's it. In the military, they tell us if somebody says no when you ask to have sex with them, if you continue to ask and continue to keep moving forward, that's rape. And a lot of people do not know that.
But I think that could be used for anything. So even if you want to talk to somebody, if she
Right,
says
if she
no,
says
I'm not interested.
Or she ignores you too, like then don't need to go back and be like,
That-
hey,
that's
you
when you-
stupid ass bitch.
That's when you're
That's
thirsty.
fine, right.
That's what it means when you're thirsty.
But that's
Exactly. No
harassment
means no.
still. Like
So it's like you say, so if a woman says no, I'm not interested, okay, leave it at that. I just wanted to
And
let you know
respect
I
that.
thought you were a beautiful woman,
right.
and that's it. Walk away. But then, as Thelia just said, I mean, there's a lot of guys that as soon as a woman says, no, I'm not interested, or as soon as a woman turns them down, even if they may have started talking to the woman or courting the
Name
woman,
calling.
then the woman says, you know, look, I'm sorry, I'm not interested, or this isn't working out, what have you, then they get mad. Then
They
they
start name calling,
calling.
and
And
they
then
start
they
like-
trying to get, they want to, some guys want to get physical.
Right,
oh, I done
right, right.
spent X amount of dollars on you,
Right.
you gonna give me
Or
what
I
I
can find
want.
your location, let me track
No.
you down. It's like, oh god, wait.
And exactly, and it's just like,
Right, but they do that. Like they will say, like, I can track you down. Let me find you. 'Cause
Yeah.
I have your phone number now. I can track you.
Nah, because I'd be scared the popo be sitting there waiting for me. I'm good on
And
that.
they- they'll
I'm
fool
too,
you.
and that's
I'm too
the
big
thing.
for that.
Right.
I can't
Right.
be doing that.
And
type
that's
of
the
stuff.
thing. It's like the guys out here, they don't understand. As you said, no means no.
And like
Elijah,
in my,
Yo,
what do you think?
yeah.
yeah, I was always about to say that topic, but y'all just went ahead. But yeah. But yeah, I want to piggyback on what y'all said. Like in this generation, like so many guys these days just can't take no for an answer. Like for me personally, like I've been turned down by women, but I wouldn't go off the wall and just like stalk them every day or like call them names. I would just be like, okay, fine, I just go to the next one. But I think some of these guys these days just can't take no for an answer. They just take it to the heart. Like they just do some of the most extreme stuff. Like when a woman feels uncomfortable or that she's not attracted to you, like don't take it so personal. Like just move on to the next. Just keep moving and just don't say anything. And like if she finds somebody that's more attracted to him. Let me rephrase. Like if she finds somebody she's attracted to the most than you, then so be it. Like just don't go. Cause like I see a few news articles that so many men like go to a woman's house like just like physically like beat them
Yeah, or shoot them,
or
like,
shoot
or
them
kill them,
or even
shit.
try to threaten their family and like all because a woman said one word. No, you gonna go up there and harm her family, even harm her. Like no, that's not how it works. And like I think recently I saw a Snapchat. One of my friends who is a female, like she slowly turned the guy down, and all of a sudden he just got all salty and just said, "Bye, bitch." Like, okay, like don't get all mad. Don't just grow up. That it's not really that serious. And it's just like in this generation, like people just want physical attraction. Like they're more physical. Like they don't want time to get to know the person. But instead, they just want to make that first move and just like get that first one night stand. Instead of like asking them like, hey, what's your name? Yada yada. Just be starting getting casual. Like once once she gives you permission like to get to that next level, then yeah, it might be different. But if she like turns you down for a certain reason where she doesn't like you or she's not physically attracted to you, then just gotta keep moving. But
that's when I blame schools. The reason I say I blame schools is because you know how you have a first, second, and third place winner. They starting to give people participation awards. No.
Well, they call it being fair.
No, because if you lose, you just lose.
You need to learn how to lose.
Yeah, you go back and
I
you
feel like
work
that's
harder.
the parents' fault too. Like it's not like
That
the kids'
and
fault.
always
it's
starts
both
at
of
the
them.
house.
Yeah,
It starts
it's
at the
the
household.
parents and the school, because if you lose, then you're supposed to go back and work hard. That's supposed to be motivation for you to go back and work harder and come back and do better next time. But they give out participation awards like thank you for coming and everybody gets a reward. No, because sometimes in life you just lose. And that's part of it.
That's
If you're
fine.
dating somebody or you're trying to date people, sometimes people are just gonna say no. Like there was an example of a school that was making students say yeah, like you could not turn them down if they asked to dance for you, and then they had to go back and change it
Oh
for the simple
hell
fact.
no!
Yeah, they had to go back and change it for the simple
Uh-uh.
fact they were saying that's not realistic. Because if I ask Celia to dance and she tells me she's not supposed to tell me no, but in reality, if I ask Celia to dance and she's not feeling me and she tells me no, then that's the end of it. But they're teaching kids to not be able to handle rejection. I feel like nowadays we're making the children so soft that they can't understand when someone says no. If I say no, that's what it is. Sometimes people are gonna say no. You just keep moving.
And part of that, like, I think too, is not just like, so yes, no means like, yeah, the participation thing, they think they should deserve it, but also those, like, if you say no, then they think they should try harder because you said no. And that's when, like, the harassment, like, you said no, and then, like.
Because they misdirected, because you should try harder when you fail at something.
Right, but they do it with this.
Yeah,
They
you
try
should.
harder.
Yeah,
Well,
they do
if
it
my
wrong.
words didn't work, then my physicalness will.
That's when it's misdirected. Because yes, if I lose a competition in the science fair, and next year I come back, I should be able to work harder and do whatever it takes to make sure I win without cheating or doing something, irresponsible. But I should do whatever it takes to get to that next level. But there's a fine line when it comes to certain things. When you talk to a woman, she says no, that doesn't mean to keep harassing her, following her, stalking her, getting on the internet, looking up her phone number, trying to find her. Like I said a few minutes ago, first of all, I'm too big for that. Because if somebody say call rape on me, that's it.
Right.
I'm done. Because they're going to be like, bro, you a big dude. You probably did that. I'm not fixing to sit here and be like chasing people. If you tell me no, then I mean, hey, you know what? You're cute, you're beautiful, whatever, bye. Because that's a part of life. But some people don't understand that in life, no means no, and sometimes you're just not going to succeed. There's just going to be some things you're just not good at. Michael Jordan is one of the greatest basketball players alive. Some people don't get that they're just not going to be Jordan. I'm sorry, you're just not going to be him. They tell you in school you could be anything you want to be when you grow up.
Okay.
But they should say you could be anything you want to be when you grow up within reason. Because if you just don't have that talent and skill, it's not telling you not to try, but it's telling you find something you are good at. Find something that you can be successful at and go with that. Same thing with dating. If you're not successful with Thelia, you might be successful with Amelia. It doesn't matter. You might be successful with Sharon or Nikki or Keisha. It doesn't matter. You might be successful with somebody else, even though you ain't successful with her. And then even if you don't get with her, it may not have been meant for you to get with her. It may have been meant for you to be with somebody else. Maybe she has some things or you have some things that just won't click with that person, and move on.
But here's one for you. Let's flip the script, because the entirety of the conversation has been about the woman. So let's flip the script and talk about the man.
What's the
Rape
say?
culture for a man. As you said earlier, and this is something that I think is pretty much a well-known thing, is that when men are raped, a lot of times,
Or harassed.
or harassed or anything, we don't come forward and say anything. Because as a man, one thing that, and I could say this is like a universal thing for boys, one thing we're taught as we get older is to be a man. So a lot of times that comes with no complaining. A lot of times that comes with dealing with what's going on and moving on.
Yeah, drive on.
A lot of times that comes with no emotions.
Which
So-
is ridiculous. Like,
But see,
you guys shouldn't be told that.
but see,
as
yeah, and but that's
children to
easy.
be
But that's
a
easy
man.
for a woman to say
Right,
that
right.
we shouldn't be told that we shouldn't have emotions, because that is
That's-
what's going to cause us to lash out
Right,
later
right.
on in life. Especially if there's nobody there to teach us how to deal
Right.
with everything that we're going through.
Emotional regulation.
That's what it is, because the biggest thing is, if you had a really overly emotional man that cried about everything, you wouldn't talk to him.
Right.
If you had a
But you
soft
should
guy,
be
you wouldn't talk to
able
him.
to cry and regulate your emotions when you need to.
It was the right person.
Because I know, as I'm gonna tell you for a fact, I know a lot of women that's not gonna deal with an emotional guy.
No.
They're not gonna do
That's
it.
true.
They're gonna be
They
like,
are
you
not
gonna
gonna
call
do
him
it.
a punk.
They gonna
But
call
then,
him weak.
but then I know a lot of females that I want me a guy that's in tune with his emotions, because at least I know that when he's going through something, he's gonna talk to me. I can help him through it.
Right.
Everything
Instead
will
of
be
bottle it
fine.
up and lash it out on me. That's
Exactly.
how I feel about it.
Now, me personally, I've been on both ends of the
You an
fence.
emotional guy.
I've been an emotional guy, and I've been a guy that just didn't really have emotions. You know, growing up, a lot of times I kept my emotions inside. When I would go through something, when I would be stressed out, when I would be depressed, I would keep my emotions inside until I couldn't hold everything in anymore. Then I would let it all out. I'd probably hurt some people's feelings, and I'd move on, because we probably didn't talk anymore after that. But as I got older, I started to learn that that's not a healthy thing to do. So now, I'm gonna tell you how I feel. I'm not going to hold it in, because there's no point for me to hold my emotions in. But I know how to. But what I realized is, you got to know how to talk to people. You can't talk to everybody the same.
Right.
You just can't, because you got to be aware of the person that you're talking to. So, to bring that back into rape culture, and on the male side, a lot of the times we don't know who we can talk to up front when it comes to dealing with a woman, because a lot of times women can be very fickle. They can be very fickle. I'm not saying all women, but a lot of women can be very fickle. Disclaimer, yes. I'm not saying all
We're
women.
not saying all
Not
women.
all
That's when
women.
People get offended and don't listen to the whole statement.
I'm not saying all women, but I've had my fair share that will tell you, be emotional with me. Tell me how you feel. And as soon as you walk through that door, oh, I'm not gonna deal with this.
But see, that's the thing, because I don't do it for some reasons, for the fact that some women use it against you. And that's why I feel like I'm not going to tell you everything I'm feeling, because some women use it against you. I don't
But
want
they shouldn't do that either.
Yeah, they
So that's
shouldn't.
certainly
But
something.
that's in a perfect world, though.
Right.
In a perfect world, you would hope that you wouldn't have your emotions used against you. That's just not reality.
Right.
Because when you tell somebody how you feel, and you express to them the things you're going through, some women turn around and use that against you, like you weren't saying that, you was crying, you little punk. You was doing this, and that. You had your head in the pillow, screaming at the top of your lungs like a little girl. And you sit here thinking to yourself, like, I just want to choke the mess out of you. Like, why would you say that to me? Right, like, you know goodness well I was going through some stuff at that point in time, and you're going to use it against me? This is why I don't say nothing. This is why a lot of men put a guard up and don't say nothing. Because they're afraid that if I let myself be vulnerable, because no man wants to feel vulnerable. As a man, you're taught to be strong.
Yep.
So if you're at a point of vulnerability, you don't want to be there.
You're not strong.
Right, and when you let your guard down and show vulnerability, you feel like the weakest person on earth. But that's when it comes in with the woman that's supposed to uplift you and show you that it's not a point of vulnerability, but that is a point of strength, that you were able to let down your guard with said woman and be okay. But that's the thing with men, because sexual harassment with men, most men are not going to report sexual harassment because they don't realize it's happening, or they just don't know. There's been women that walked by me and pinched me on the butt, and that was sexual harassment. I didn't think about it because a couple of them were kind of cute, and I'm just like, hey, she pinched me on the butt.
Hey, yo, hit me up later.
Yeah.
Like, just call me.
So not even that, I was just like, yo, she pinched me on the butt. yo, that's what's up. But I didn't think about the fact that that's sexual harassment. I didn't ask for her to pinch me on the butt. I didn't want her to pinch me on the butt. She walked by, pinched me on the butt, and then turned around and winked at me. That's the same as a man catcalling another woman. But as men, it's not that we don't get sexually harassed as much as women. It's that we're less likely to report sexual harassment because we either don't know or we just don't want to say nothing for fear of being known as a punk or a snitch or
Fear of being ostracized.
right.
Oh,
You know what I
man,
mean?
being called pussy.
Yeah, because I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna. If a
Because
cute woman walks up and pinches me on the butt, I'm not gonna say, "Yo, she sexually harassed me. I'm gonna turn her in." We don't do that. But
Because
women, if it happens to them, they're like, "Oh heck
I
no."
don't care how attractive you are.
Yeah, you
Don't
pinched
touch
me on the butt. You touched me. You shouldn't have did that. I'm going to tell.
Exactly.
And then that's another thing. So this is my thing. I want to know you all's opinion on nowadays system as far as sexual harassment is concerned. Is it right for it to be more sloped towards the woman than the man?
I think it should be equally sloped, of course. Like,
equal opportunity for everyone.
But how do we get it that way though?
That's a good question. I think having discussions like this is certainly a way to do it. And then I think also, like, teaching, like, kids in general, like, emotional regulation and, like, what's okay and what's not. Because, like, women need to know, like, not to use shit against you. Because they do it with girls, too. Like, it's not, we don't just, like, there's not, like, women that do that. They don't just do it to the guy they're dating. They do it to their friends, too. Like, they'll throw shit back in their face. And either A, because they don't know any better, or B, that's just how they were taught to deal with people. Right, catty, petty. So we need to learn, like, it's okay to have emotions, it's okay to do this, it's okay to do that. We also need to know, like, well, now I know this, and this is, and I think in sex ed, like, I got a whole,
You had sex ed?
no I didn't, but in sex ed,
Sex ed.
but in sex ed, like, I've got a whole rant about sex ed, don't get me started on it, but I think it should be taught what is sexual harassment and what is rape and what is, because especially, like, for the younger kids, like, if they were molested, like, they don't know what's going on, they just know that they don't feel good, right? They don't know that they're being abused, they don't know that they're being molested, they don't know that they're being, like, that's inappropriate and that they're being used by adults. And usually it's by trusted adults, so it's, and they just don't know. They don't know. So that should be taught. They should be taught what's inappropriate and what's, and, like, the thing about secret versus surprise. So if someone says, like, yeah, this is a secret, we'll keep it between the two of us, like, a secret's supposed to never be told, and because it's not supposed to be told, tell your teacher or someone that you trust what's going on, because that's not okay. And a surprise is like a Christmas present. So I got you this Christmas present and I don't want you to know it, but it's going to be revealed at some point. So there's a difference, and I think that should be taught too.
I definitely think that kids need to be taught, as you said, more or less on the different things that happen in life.
Right.
It needs to be, now, I guess when you start teaching the kids is a different thing, because as we see in this generation now, and I have friends who are teachers and who deal with kids a lot, I mean, even down to 7 and 6 year olds,
Right.
they're already talking about having sex.
I had a 4th grader in one of my dance classes. I overheard her talking to one of her friends talking about giving a neighbor boy a blowjob.
Whoa.
See?
A
Whoa.
4th grader. Now, I don't know what all happened. I don't know how old this boy is. I don't know if he's, like, an adult, like 16, 17, 18 years old, and, like, he coerced her, or he, like, what, I don't know the details. Or if it never actually happened and she's just really, like, repeating what she saw on TV and putting herself in that situation, like, trying to seem cool to the other kid. Like, I don't know. I don't know. But that's what I heard. Like, I overheard, I was like, okay, that is enough. This is totally inappropriate. I'm done. We're done talking about this. And we didn't talk about it this time, but I told her parents, because I don't know, like, I'm her dance teacher, and I only heard, like, a snippet of this conversation. Like, I didn't.
And see,
But the
that's why
parents need to know, but they
And I think,
also.
yeah, and I think that's another thing.
Like-
You know, and parents need to be informed, because, you know, when your child is away from you, because we were all children at one point,
Right.
and
Yeah.
when we were away from our parents,
And they're being sexual at very
we did
young
whatever we
ages.
did.
Right.
You know, so I'm not gonna sit here and act like, I was an angel when I wasn't around my parents. I won't out here sexually harassing people, but
Right.
I wasn't an angel.
Right.
So,
I
and
got
I,
a couple booties for a couple dollars.
I probably did that in school, but I think that with the way that the generation is set up now is you don't really have that connect between parent and child anymore.
Right.
Like it's almost non-existent. I mean, you got children out here getting away with almost anything and everything in the world.
Yep.
So when you got fourth graders, third graders, second graders out here talking about blowjobs and having sex or
Right.
fingering
And whether
each other
they
or
are
playing
doing it
with
or
each other.
not, like they may not know any better. And I feel like please hear me out on this. I know y'all got kids. Please hear me out. Sex education should start in kindergarten. Hear me out. It's a whole speech, okay?
My mama told me about it when I was 4.
Right. Hear me out. So, like, in kindergarten, they should learn about, like, what love is and, like, how to be kind to your friends and stuff. Like, not even in a romantic sense.
The
because,
birds and the bees.
Birds and bees.
we'll get there. But, like, just, like, essentially, like, you are my friend. I love you. Here's how I express my love. Kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the next should be, like, autonomy. So, if I'm playing with a toy and you want to play with it, and you ask me to play with it and I say no, what are you going to do? What do you usually see?
Walk away.
Well, you see a lot of kids tattletelling, like, she won't let me play with her toy.
Mm-hmm.
And then what you see is, we'll
The
give them the toy
teachers
anyways.
giving them the toy
Toy
and making our
anyways.
kids punks.
Right. So, because I said no, but you disrespected my no, you took it away from me anyways. Now I might as well just say yes because I'm going to get taken away anyways. Which goes back to the consensual rape thing. Like, all that could have been learned way before, because instead of the teacher could have taught that kid, she said no, that's enough, and you can wait till she's done, or you can wait till she says yes.
But that needs
So
to follow. But that
serious.
needs to follow as they get older.
Well,
with
it
every
certainly
grade.
does, but it needs to
It's
start there. Like, that's where it
I have
starts.
said that because I told
That shit
the
pisses me
mother
the
of my
fuck
children the
off.
same thing, and my mom. I said sharing is BS because it's not sharing. It's teaching me how to get bullied.
Right.
Because
and
if another kid wants what I have, they say, "Oh, sharing is caring." No, when I'm done playing with this toy,
you can have it.
then you can have it. Not I'm playing with the toy and because you want it, I'm supposed to give it to you. And it's called sharing. That's called being a punk. That's called being a sissy.
That's called not being
That's called-
respected.
yeah.
You take it from
Yeah,
me.
I'm not. First of all, as a grown man, if I got something and you want it,
You don't just take that shit.
You gonna wait till I give it to you. You gonna owe me 5 minutes, straight up.
Right,
You're
right.
not about to take nothing out of my hands and say, "Well, it's called sharing." No, it's called you wait till I'm done,
Exactly.
Right.
then you can have it.
And then moving on into second grade, like, I started my period when I was 8 years old in second
God.
grade. Right.
Wow.
So you should know, like, the beginning stages of puberty before that happens. Like, you should go to these stages before, like, they start. Like, I thought I was dying. Right?
See,
But I didn't know. I didn't know.
I think that's different in every family because I know for a
So-
fact that my family, my sisters knew before their period
But
started.
I
they
think
knew
the school
what
should
it was
still
and when it
talk
was
about
coming.
it, because that is one, like, everybody's got different families at home, but they all go to the same school. So and everybody should learn about puberty together. Like, I should know that everybody grows body hair, right? Like, I should know, like, boys should know that menstruation is a perfectly natural thing and actually how it happens, right? Or what's happening. Like, there's grown ass men that think people or women bleed out of their uvulas. Like, no.
Nah.
That's totally not okay. And then that's that. And then third grade should be furthering on, like, expansion on the puberty talk. And then fourth grade should be like chemicals and like how your brain is changing. Like, you just changed physically, now everything else is about to change. And then fifth grade should be the sex talk. What can get you sick? How do you get pregnant? How do you stay safe? What's birth control? And all this other stuff. And yeah, they might be doing it already. They might not be. Most of them aren't starting until about middle school. But the fact of the matter is, they should know about all of this stuff before it comes up. They should
cool.
learn it together.
That's cool, but those steps, with the way things are happening, because like when you were saying nowadays a disconnect, it's been like this for a while. When I was in school, there were girls who were in the 6th grade with me talking to 18-year-olds. there were girls that
But
were
they
50.
should know what's not like
Right, but they
that's
were-
not
but they're
okay.
saying-
Number
I think a lot
one,
of
that's not
A
okay.
lot of them
girls
knew
who
that
went-
it wasn't okay, but you know, girls
But that's the thing. But there were
historically want to go
girls.
for that older
But
guy.
they yell, we mature faster than males anyway, type
That's
stuff.
not even really
because that's
true.
what they taught the
Yeah,
whole
that's
time.
what
Because
they
that's what that's the common thing that people always say is females mature faster than males.
But that's not necessarily true.
But
because
that's what I'm saying.
it's just
That's
like,
what I'm saying. So like in 5th grade, 4th grade, there were girls that were talking to older guys when I was in school. So it didn't just start being a disconnect. It didn't just start this happening. It's been happening for a while. It's just more prevalent because we see it on social media
Right.
about everything that's going on. Social media has uncovered a lot more things and put things out there in the public's eye. It's not that this stuff just started happening. It's been happening for years. Ain't nothing new under the sun. But it's just now starting to be seen on a bigger platform because everyone can see it. These women and stuff, things have been happening for a long time. And so I agree to some degree with what you said, but I think, because like my mother had the Birds of the Beach talk with me when I was 4.
my parents never had that
You
talk
know,
with
she
me.
she
ever.
told me, but she told me
I
when
learned
I
what
was
I learned from
4.
my friends.
And then as I got older, she continued to reemphasize, you better not make me no grandmama no early age. You better not be running around doing this
Right.
and that.
But my parents
You better
didn't
not be doing this and
give
this.
me that talk.
Right, and that's the problem
the
because
problem.
even in the churches, that's a taboo subject.
And it
Even in the
shouldn't be.
churches, they don't talk about sex or protective sex or
Especially.
taking care of yourself. They don't talk about this certain stuff because it's so taboo. But this is my problem. If the conversation can be had about same-sex relationships, and I know this might stump on somebody's toes, and I'm sorry, I really don't care. But if you can talk about same-sex relationships and you can't talk about sexual activity,
Right.
then that's the problem.
Right.
Because same-sex relationships involve sexual activity also. Because it's
true.
man to man, woman to woman, or whatever. But if you can't talk about these things that's going on, then you're not living in a reality world. Because you cannot. You know why certain cultures are more advanced than the American culture? Because they don't treat their kids as dum-dums when they come out the womb.
And they're not. Like, they're sponges.
Right. In America, we don't teach our kids stuff from the rip. We wait to certain ages to teach our
That's
kids
ridiculous.
stuff.
Absolutely
There's
fucking
kids
ridiculous.
playing Beethoven at the age of 3 over in
Talking
other
8 languages
countries.
and shit.
Yeah, in other countries,
They're
and over
sponges.
here in America, our kids are a bunch of idiots. You know why? Because we don't push them. Your child can go as far as you push them.
Right.
And I'm not saying be so hard on them that they can't be a child, but my God.
But they love to learn.
Yeah,
They literally
yeah,
go out
they're
searching
looking
for things
for it.
to learn. Like,
Trust me,
they
I know.
look to be stimulated.
My-
Like, don't just give them a phone and let it. And I'm not saying like technology's bad entirely. Like, kids do need to learn how to make, like, how to use phones and other technologies, and that's certainly a thing. However, like, don't just like here entertain yourself. No, like. You need to stimulate them. You need to read to them. You need to get them outside and play in the dirt. You need to get them to, like, teach them how to cook. Like, there's so much science and reading and math and just cooking dinner. Like, that's measuring. I'm sorry, I have a birth kindergarten ed. Give me a
Yeah,
minute.
No, I mean, I understand
It's
what you're
about to
saying.
come out.
Gender
Oh,
identification things.
I understand because my daughter,
But
my daughter's only
so
3 years
much
old.
they can learn.
My daughter's 3
They
years
love to
old.
fucking cook. They love to cook. And then they're learning about, like, steam and gas and water and it's boiling and it's cool and they see the cake all getting, like, going from doughy to cooked. And
Yeah, because
then
if you 18
they-
years old
the
and you still
vegetables-
burning boiled water,
like,
that's
that's
a problem.
That's really a problem.
But no, what I was
If you
saying
can't
was,
cook
look,
grits at
look,
18, that's a problem.
But
my
listen,
mom can't cook
my,
her since she's 42.
It's dead.
my daughter's only 3 years old. 3 years old. Loves to do homework. Always asking about, I want to do homework. I
Right.
want to learn.
And she's very
I
awesome
want to,
too.
like,
They-
I want to do
they
these
are
things. So I
starving to be
agree with you on
stimulated.
that. So I definitely agree.
Starving
with
to
you on
be
that.
stimulated. Like,
But then, like I said, like Tank said, I agree with Tank too. A lot of parents wait until their child reaches a certain age.
and that's not the child's fault.
To teach
that's
them
their
something.
fault. Like, that's the
And
parents' fault.
then, but the thing about it is, and this is probably why there's not what you were saying about
Right.
having them learn from kindergarten on up, because a lot of parents are like, no, you're not going to be the one to teach my child about the.
But then they're not the ones to
You're
also
not
teach
gonna
it
be-
either. Like, my parents, I'm telling you, my parents,
But would your parents have allowed your teacher to teach you that?
They didn't. They didn't even sign the permission slip. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you had to sign a permission slip to go to sex ed. My parents didn't sign it. Sex ed should not be an optional thing. Sex ed should be taught, period.
Oh.
On top of that, so I was in 10th grade before I learned that babies were pushed through the vagina. 10th grade, there is no
Hold up,
reason
wait,
for a 10th grader to think that the baby comes like rips from the belly button like
Stand
a
up for a
fucking
second.
hall.
Hold on, back up.
Like that is absolutely ridiculous.
Where did you go to school that sex ed was optional for you?
Richlands High School in Onslow
Because
County.
where I went to school, sex ed wasn't optional.
Yeah, that's
No, no,
called.
we
That's
were-
called.
it was not
Well,
optional.
for me, it was called anatomy and physiology.
For me, it was
in
optional. You
class.
had to sign. Your parents had to sign a permission slip that said yes, you can go to sex ed. Period. That's what it was.
Wow.
And we had one in 5th grade that told us that we needed to wear deodorant, and then, and I know that because my friends came back with little deodorants. And then we had another one in 6th grade, and I guess that was the abstinence only sex talk. Guess what? Onslow County's abstinence only sex county. We were the highest teen pregnancy rating in 2013 and 2014, and after that I stopped looking because I got depressed. That's absolutely fucking ridiculous. Cause it's not the
That's
teenagers'
crazy, man.
fault totally because yes they should know better, but if they have parents like mine, they don't know any better. They don't know how to use condoms. They don't even know condoms are a thing, or they don't know how to get pregnant.
And all
And
that
that's-
leads into rape culture.
Right? It
What's
it
wrong?
really does.
Because they don't teach. And that's what I'm saying. They don't teach they don't teach at church. They don't teach at school.
They don't teach it at home
Because it's
for a lot of kids.
But and the crazy thing is for something to be such a taboo, for it to be in the media so much,
Yeah.
and to be such a taboo, that's crazy.
Right.
Because everything you see, like from the movies where it used to be the cowboy, my grandma would talk about it all the time. The cowboy pick up the woman and walk to the room, and they close the door, and the movie says the end.
Yep.
To now, they pick the girl up, they kissing and tonguing and spit flying everywhere. They walk in the room, clothes flying, and they get it in.
Right.
And you're just like,
Where's that
this
coming
is
from?
on ABC. My kids can see this.
Right. And it's
What's-
like at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, in the evening, you're just like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
We're having dinner right now.
What's the movie? 50 Shades.
50 Shades of...
All over
But
the
that's
commercial.
not an ABC movie though.
No. But what I'm saying. But what I'm saying.
Like some
But
of
what
the
I'm.
shit.
That's
But what I'm
It's on
saying is.
commercial.
That's true.
Yeah, and I mean, I didn't read the books.
But that's everything.
I didn't know.
Because they
but-
weren't advertising lingerie and tampons back in the day either.
Well, they should
And
be
now they
advertising
do that.
tampons.
Well,
Like,
but I'm
I feel
saying,
that.
I get that, and condoms too, but at the same time, now they're
But there's
advertising.
teenagers and like younger, like
Yeah, they sexually appeal everything else.
that they
Like
shouldn't be doing.
when
sexually.
when you're watching a Hardee's commercial, they're eating a hamburger and it's
And
a
a
chick
bikini
with a
top.
in a bikini eating a hamburger, and you thinking, am I gonna get the girl and the burger too, bro? But you ain't gonna get both of them. You just gonna get the burger, and it's probably gonna be dry, and it probably ain't gonna be good. It's probably gonna have mustard on it. I don't want just mustard on my burger, bro. I want more than mustard on my burger. And you ain't gonna. You know what I'm saying?
That's the important
Hey,
part.
and J-Lo ain't gonna come on my
But
burger.
look, you
neither.
ain't looking at the burger though when you look at the commercial.
That's
You're
the
too
whole
busy
point.
looking at the woman.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the point I'm making. It's sex appeal. They're trying to sell a hamburger, but they got a half-naked woman on there trying to sell a hamburger, and I don't care nothing about the burger. I'm wondering if I'm gonna get her with my fries and the drink.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What type of shape does she got? Because I ain't trying to get no strawberry. But that's what I'm saying. That's what you see on TV now, and people
And
don't
the
show
kids get
simple
to
things. Yeah, they don't show like, have you had your break today, or McDonald's or something, and you see an arch and a hamburger and kids are laughing and playing on the
You see
slide.
'em.
They show a girl walking around with her titties hanging out, and she's eating a burger with fries and a milkshake, and you thinking to yourself, like, dang, if I eat this burger, fries, and a milkshake, is she gonna pop up with it? Or am I gonna go to the window and she gonna be there? And you show up and you got some chick that's got
Got a
like,
little phone
her
number.
eyes, you know, her eyes are cocked like a pistol, and you sit here looking,
Damn.
her eyes are cocked like a pistol, and she looking at you like, what do you want with your fry? You want some ketchup? And you just like, I shouldn't even came here for that. I mean, I know it ain't supposed to be funny, but that's what I think about when I look at those commercials. I'm like, so are we really talking about the burger still? Because
Exactly.
I didn't know we were talking about the burger still when I see this naked girl with a big old booty on it.
But it's and then also it's in the cartoons.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
it's
always-
it's always
in the
been though.
cartoons.
Like it was in Ren and Stimpy.
Bruh.
It was in
They
Bugs
did
Bunny.
so well in
Beavis and
cartoons.
Butthead.
Right, like it's always been in cartoons. You can't just say like Cartoon Today fucking sucks.
Dude,
because
I
it's
woke
always
up.
been
I
there.
woke up and I had Cartoon Network on. I can't remember why. My kids were over here. I had Cartoon Network on, and when I woke up, there was a cartoon that had a 5-point star and 666 popping up on the screen like a subliminal message. So in between the cartoon, it was popping up a 5-point star, 666, and I'm just like,
Holy shit.
bruh, this is like the time when kids wake up and their parents are not around, and it's got like some devil animal killing people. And I'm sitting thinking, this is what they show our children? They can't. When I used to grow up and watch TV, it
Was
was.
it Powerpuff Girls with like shit?
No, it wasn't that. When I used to grow up watching TV, I had the Magic School Bus. On
Yep.
Saturday mornings, it was Recess.
Yep.
And
Yes.
then you watch stuff like I'm just a bill, just a limited bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill.
That's
Schoolhouse Rock.
That was
Or
my
you
favorite.
watch something that was educational. Bill Nye the Science Guy. That came on about 11 o'clock.
Out of
Bill
the
Nye the
box.
Science Guy
Oh,
came on
I
11
love
o'clock.
that box.
You know what I'm saying? Reading Rainbow. Stuff that was educational and that was beneficial.
Between the
Now,
lines was
it's
so good.
cartoons that don't have any sense to it. It's cartoons that just promote sex. And that goes along with, like you said earlier, the rape culture, because all this stuff that shows up, all people think about sex, 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 sex. When I'm going to get something next. When I'm going to get something. It's just like a drug.
Right.
That's all it is.
That natural high that they
Right.
want all day.
This is good discussion, but it's been almost an hour.
We was on it.
But there wasn't a good time to stop. So
All right, y'all.
Do we
That
want-
was actually a really good conversation. We actually talked for about an hour, maybe.
oh,
They're probably a little bit
so-
over.
Yeah.
Way more than an hour.
well not way.
I hope you guys you learned a lot. You've seen how we feel. You heard how we feel. We would love to know how you guys feel. So leave your comments, leave your opinions, your thoughts, your feelings below. Let us know how y'all feel. Maybe we'll talk about it on the next episode. Maybe we won't. At some point, we probably will. So don't feel bad.
Next episode probably going to be another serious topic, something that we should be talking about that's going on. We're going to get some opinions and some things going on and see how you all feel about it and how each one of us feel about it. And we hope that you tune in to join in and see what's going on.
Yes, it's going to be controversial. Very.
Again. So,
Again, so be prepared.
Like this one.
Yeah.
Actually, it's going to be a lot more controversial than this one. Trust me.
Yeah.
So we're here at the end. So again, thank you for watching the Fishbowl. I'm Brian, but you already knew that.
I'm EC4.
Your boy Tank.
Not my chocolate.
Until next time, peace.
Yeah.
Deuces.
Peace out, Girl Scout.